We are living in a time of crisis, and that takes a toll on the human mind. The long-lasting situation in Syria, the Eastern wars, the famine in Yemen, or the catastrophic explosion in Lebanon. All these events can cause traumas. That traumatic incidents can drastically affect the lives of those experiencing them has been known for a long time. However, what recent discoveries show is that traumas can leave lasting effects over multiple generations and therefore are inheritable or transgenerational. First of all, we should define the underlying basics of this topic. The average human body contains about 37.2 trillion cells. Within all of these cells, there is a nucleus containing all the necessary information for the organism. This information is commonly referred to as DNA. However, saying that all inheritable information is only found in the DNA is not true. It is a mere simplification. The DNA simply stores all the genetic information an organism needs. How a cell has to regulate this information is not written in the DNA. Epigenetic factors regulate gene expression. This means that they control which parts of the genetic information are used. To simplify this concept, the genetic information found in the DNA can be compared to a library. The library is full of instructional books, which in this analogy stand for genes. Now, by your choice of books, you decide which of the library's information is read. You don't alter what is written in the books. Instead, your impact comes from deciding which ones are made use of. Molecularly, this happens through epigenetic modifications, which determine if genes are accessible. Most of what is written in the DNA base sequence won't change throughout your entire life. Which parts of the DNA sequence are read and produced can be affected by long-term habits and surroundings, such as diets or stress. The epigenetic factors causing this are inheritable and can therefore affect your offspring as well. In this video, we will further explore the inheritance of traits resulting from traumas. Traumas can have wildly different origins, ranging from an embarrassing presentation in primary school to a tragic accident or other horrifying incidents like terrorist attacks. Whether a situation is felt to be traumatic depends on the emotional reaction of the affected person rather than the situation. It is highly subjective. If traumas remain untreated, the altered epigenetic markers can be passed on to the next generation. The effects of transgenerational traumas can consist of social, physical, or emotional pain, and can be displayed by higher rates in cardiovascular disease, anxiety disorders, depression, and proneness to higher stress levels. Following several incidents, traces of transgenerational traumas were found to be detectable in the offspring's epigenome. One of the most researched historical instances of trauma and their epigenetic consequences is the Dutch famine. However, cases involving humans make it hard to scientifically differentiate between epigenetic inheritance and environmental impact. After all, trauma-affected parents might negatively impact offspring through neglection following their mental state, not solely through their epigenome. Studies on animals, however, can eliminate this uncertainty. Experiments conducted on mice at the University of Zurich have shown that certain traits can be epigenetically passed down to further generations. Overall, offspring of traumatized mice grew depressed, was more reckless, and less capable of solving complex tasks. Additionally, those mice turned out to be more antisocial in behavior. The transgenerational trauma also caused physical consequences, like a change in metabolism causing hypoglycemia. Most of these conditions stayed up until the fourth generation, whereby the depressive nature seemed to disappear after the third. Apart from pharmaceutical means, there are two different approaches to reversing the effects of transgenerational traumas. One being through environmental factors and the other one through psychotherapy. Reversal through environmental factors is achieved by supplying the affected generation with low stress and healthy surroundings, in which the effects of their illnesses can be soothed. So far, the environmental reversal of epigenetic markers has only been confirmed in studies on mice, and therefore it is not certain whether this concept is applicable to humans yet. For human conditions, the wider explored approach is psychotherapy. Multiple studies with traumatized patients, ranging from war veterans to patients with panic disorders, have found that successful psychotherapy is capable of reversing epigenetic changes in certain regions and thereby preventing their inheritance. Although transgenerational traumas are not fully understood yet, scientists have been able to show that reversibility can be reached through psychotherapy. Therefore, it is vital that traumas do not go untreated. Not only can they have effects on you, but also on your offspring. Like this video if it was informative, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below.